Hi, I'm Altan. I'm one of the founders of More Markets. More Markets is a platform that takes idle tokens like XRP, brings them to other markets where we can earn yield and bring the yield back to the user on the XRP ledger as XRP.
That opener was Altan Tatar. He's the co founder of More Markets. And his business, well, it does much of the business like Hidden Roads. That's the company that was acquired by Ripple. So, this prime brokerage for the space is very interesting. I want you to listen to Altan break it down in this 1 minute clip. It was recorded today when he came on to the channel. Have a listen. You're a person that is looking at all the different ways to generate yield. And so you're using the digital asset XRP or RLUSD to
Mhm.
be that asset that you
Mhm.
decide as a manager, something like Hidden Roads might do.
Correct. Yeah, so Hidden Roads guys are bigger than us, obviously. They've been around for a while, and they've been doing this for Ripple and other institutions. Right? We work for the retail users that come in, maybe put, $10, $50 of XRP. We go out there, let that be maybe XRP Ledger, Flare, Ethereum, maybe even Sui, and then we generate the yield for you. We vet those sources. We make sure that they're secure, everything is audited, and everything is done. Like we've done this at the team has done it at Near Protocol. The team has worked in banks before, like Deutsche Bank, Nomura, and we bring the yield back to you on the XRP ledger. So that's yeah, we're almost like a smaller version of Hidden Road.
Today, the market is off, mostly into the red, because the tariff rhetoric makes the market uncertain, and the least desirable feel for risk assets is uncertainty. CEDAS Protocol, which is a DEX, an application that chose to build on SWI, was attacked, and they had this vulnerability in their smart contract, possibly connected to an oracle. We still need to see the wrap up of the investigation. And though they've not communicated with the hacker, they have announced a $5 million bounty on this 220 million that was stolen. However, 160 million of that has been frozen. And SWI is currently down about 4%. But I think the coordination among the validators was spectacular in recovering the assets thus far. That is what a real foundation is valuable for. To put it into perspective, just think about your favorite app on XRP Ledger. And let's say it was attacked. So that would have nothing to do with the XRP Ledger's core protocol, the consensus mechanism, or security. It's the same with the CEDAS protocol. This hack is just upon a app layer code on SWI, and there are many. In fact, there are 8 different DEXs on SWI. And with this smart contract that was exploited, a lot of people were confusing, thinking that it was an exploit on actual SWI protocol. No, it's an application that chose to build on SWI. This made me pause, really made me pause. It's a very strategic collaboration with R3 teaming up with Solana. The reason why I paused is because R3 has always been an enterprise focused technology builder. And they've never really dabbled into the retail side of things. And I think that's a changing. Teaming up with the world's most used public blockchain, Solana, is going to be so interesting, leveraging this regulatory clarity, this institutional real world asset momentum, and DeFi's growing demand for high quality on chain assets. I think you're going to see a tremendous amount of value and solutions coming out of this team of two. Take a look at this little number. 0.0026% is the tiny amount of assets that are tokenized so far on chain. And that is going to climb to 30.1 trillion by 2034. Holy smokes, this sector is going to be huge. And take a look at this. Chris Larsen, the co-founder and current Ripple chairman, he backs the first US machine to turn air into gasoline. And no, I'm not kidding. It debuted in New York City. The press release today says that it's designed to produce fossil-free gasoline. The machine pulls CO2 directly from the atmosphere and converts it into fuel that's fully compatible with today's engines. No modifications required. Wow. Here's the co-founder, and he is filling a bottle with gasoline made on site, produced in real time by the Aircella machine. And I know some of you don't care about the Link2 news, so I'll go fast, but there is breaking news. They are bringing in a restructuring expert. Jeremy Rosenthal, appointed as an independent director to the Link2 board, really speaks volumes. So they are going to explore alternatives. They've already cut back nearly 70%. They're still cooperating with the SEC Enforcement Division. And the violations stretch back years, they say, at the expense of Link2's customers. Here is this week's trading at a glance. I'm talking about the CME Group's XRP futures contracts. A contract unit is 50,000 XRP as defined by the CME in their financial product. And when they came out of the gate on May 19th, there were 150 contracts sold. May 20th, 59 contracts. May 21st, 69 contracts. And on May 22nd, 28 contracts. I don't think I should be surprised, but the SBI Group here in Japan is going to use AI-generated announcers from Friday, May 23rd, for their FX news. They're going to create short clips for updates. Yeah, I don't know about you, but are you feeling a little bit of that AI fatigue? And you know I love living here in Tokyo, Japan, but boy, I'll tell you, I went to buy a pizza and have it delivered because I saw all those pizzas on crypto Twitter for the celebration of Pizza Day for Bitcoin. Yes, I couldn't believe it. They had featured a pickle pizza. And to close out this video, you don't want to miss this final clip. This talks about Flare being the demand center for the digital asset XRP. And boy, Alton is honing in on where the value is. And as a broker, I think he's going to access some of this yield for his customers. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye. Many XRP holders are interested in what Flare is doing, and I'm sure they're going to be interested in what you're doing. And if you are the coordinator, maybe between the XRP, the digital asset, and possibly being able to provide that service for them to also utilize what's going on Flare, can you explain to everyone how that might work?
Yes, so we see Flare as one of the demand centers for XRP. So we can take XRP on our front end, and you don't have to worry about any of the bridging, any of the complex stuff that blockchains require. And we decide, let's say, this is the best demand center for XRP. We put it into work for you, and then we bring the yield back to the XRP ledger. So you don't have to do all the going out of XRP ledger yourself, which is a bit complicated, and also taking it back to the XRP. So you'll be earning XRP on the ledger itself while your asset is put to work on the Flare blockchain.
So everybody's trying to really improve their own TVL. So in that scenario, when you are assisting the transfer, if you will, of the digital asset to be utilized onto Flare, who gets credit for that TVL?
So the TVL mainly will be locked in XRP ledger. So, but then also there's another version that goes to Flare. So if you put that into a Flare contract, that also will have increase in Flare's TVL too. So it almost like benefits if you really care about XRP and Flare, you would benefit both of those ecosystems at the same time.